deficient in vitamin D, not even connecting their health problem and their low vitamin D levels. So what happened in 2014 is two researchers reanalyzed the same data that the Institute of Medicine used to set these RDAs. And like I said before, they found that instead of the 600 IUs per day, the real number was actually 8,895 IUs. And this recalculation, it was confirmed by other independent research, yet to this day, completely ignored. I want to interject some very disturbing but important information into this video right now related to the Institute of Medicine, because I recently read this book, Forbidden Facts, by Gavin Becker. And I want to just summarize a couple of very important things related to this Institute of Medicine organization. The organization that we look at as being the scientific authority that's supposed to protect us. But we know this private group is one of the governmental hires when it needs to prove that a medical product is safe. But here's the shocking part that Gavin talks about in his book. The Institute of Medicine's job is not really to discover the truth, it's to protect the system. And what I'm going to tell you is very disturbing, and if you need to click off or fast forward, that's totally fine. Before the vaccine autism investigation, before it began, the committee said we will not conclude vaccines cause autism. So the outcome was predetermined. One of the best examples how the Institute of Medicine works is Agent Orange. The government knew this was toxic in 1969. Well, number one, they hid the data, and then they hired the Institute of Medicine. And for decades, the Institute of Medicine repeatedly issued the same conclusion. More studies are needed. How many times do you hear that with so many different things? Meanwhile, soldiers are dying, families are suffering, and the truth is buried. Decades later, an admiral who ordered the spraying, whose own son died from it, testified that the government industry manipulated or withheld evidence, and the Institute of Medicine played a key role. Let's take baby powder and asbestos. 44 years they were studying it. Johnson & Johnson admitted to the FDA that their baby powder contained asbestos. But how long did the system take to figure this out? 44 years. So this is the Institute of Medicine's method. Delay long enough for the problem to fade, victims to age, and the liability to disappear. Now let's take silicone breast implants. Billions paid out. And the Institute of Medicine said, perfectly safe, overnight, all those remaining lawsuits evaporated. The power of the Institute of Medicine stamp is to protect industry, not people. And when we look at what the Institute of Health is doing for vitamin D, it's the exact same playbook. And if you watch any of my videos, you understand that vitamin D is not just for your bones, okay? It's for the immune regulation. It's for the muscles. It's for your brain. It's for your mood. And with low vitamin D, you can be in a state of depression. It's for your cognitive function, your ability to remember and focus and concentrate. It has a lot of influence over your metabolic control, your blood sugars, your ability to lose weight. Even your risk of cancer goes way up when you're low in vitamin D. And to this day, doctors still are going off these guidelines that are based on this so-called error from years ago, using this very tiny number, 600 IUs, for millions of people. I mean, what's even really fascinating about this whole story is, after this mistake, if it was truly a mistake, they would correct it, right? But not only have they not corrected the mistake, they double down and they're actually really insisting that, no, we're going to keep it like this. Defending that number, okay? Defending that number, even though they've shown that the math was wrong. Now, the Institute of Medicine is now called the National Academy of Medicine. I mean, this organization is supposed to be the gold standard of independent